The aroma is incredible. I'm going to leave these to dry in the home and just let this beautiful, calming lavender aroma and all the essential oils from it permeate throughout the house. It's absolutely beautiful. I trust you're well. I certainly am. Welcome to Be in the Garden. Welcome to Be in Nature. As you can see from this video, I've been busy trimming down the hedge, and I also harvested my lavender. Now, we are definitely in the autumn. And as you can see, I've just trimmed down these hedges, and really I think it'll be the final trimming of the hedges this year. This is likely to be the final trim of the hedges this year, and it's because I've actually seen, well, the weather has been really up and down, and as you can see, it's quite a bright, dry day, but we have had a lot of rain in recent weeks, a lot of rain. But I saw the hedges were beginning to grow a little bit more. And what I like to do in preparation for the winter is actually trim the hedges back just as much as I'm able to without going into dead wood in some places, depending which hedges. But I definitely do that with my laurel and with the hornbeam. My reasoning for doing that is because actually where the weather has been up and down. It's been bright at times and rainy at times. You can actually in the hedge still see some tiny little bits of growth, and it was beginning to come away into the path area. And so what I wanted to do is for the winter time, as it goes into its dormant stage, is for the hedge to be as close to the trim as possible and not so far out into the path area. You saw me just trimming back the lavender earlier on, and yes, I sort of took a bit of brutal force, but the lavender can actually tolerate that to a degree. I've harvested the lavender and I'm going to roll that up using some string, and I'm just going to leave it in the home for a while just to appreciate and take in as much of that beautiful free aroma from the beautiful exquisite lavender. I just trimmed back the euonymus slightly as well. And again, I'll get to the point. My purpose of trimming back the hedges at this time of year in late autumn is because they are still growing, and I'm hoping that once they go into the dormant phase, they won't put out too much growth into the path and garden area. It means that come springtime, when it starts to grow back, it's growing back from a narrow side, if that makes sense. It's growing back from a narrow stage rather than it's already being into the pathway and it grows from there. So I like to do a last trim as far back into the hedge, into the fence as possible. So that comes springtime, when it comes out from the dormant phase and the tree is starting to grow again, it's growing from its narrowest point rather than a wide point. Now, did I explain that properly? I know what I meant by that, and I hope you understood that. If you did, please, that's certainly deserving of a thumbs up. Okay, so what I plan to do for the rest of this video is I'm going to rake up the remnants of the trimmings and put them into the compost. But then I plan to give the lawn, as I always say, I don't much care for lawn. I'm going to give the lawn a good cut back, really short back, because this is the area I have the crocuses that I planted. And I have noticed that the squirrels have absolutely been digging a lot of them up. And fair play, absolutely, they've been digging them up. But what I'm going to do is cut this lawn right back and then place on top of it some metal mesh in places to prevent the squirrels from taking up all the crocuses. So that's what you're going to see me doing for the rest of the video. I hope you're enjoying it so far. Feel free to leave us a comment. What are you up to in your garden right now? And do you trim back your hedges late October time? Let me know in the comments. In the meantime, feel free to give us a thumbs up. Okay, so now to mow the lawn. I actually have a few different lawnmowers. There's me, a few different lawnmowers. I actually do though. But I use the electrical one at this time because it does cut it quite close to the ground as opposed to my petrol ones. But also with the petrol mowers at this time of year, because I'm just going to be sort of cleaning them up and putting them away for the season. I prefer for the petrol lawnmowers not to have too much petrol. Otherwise, come spring, it's stale petrol in the containers. So I sort of run those ones down, and so that's the reason why I'm using this. Anyway, got to get the job done. Wow, noisy. I will use the grass clippings for my banana. Here it goes. So the grass clippings, great source of nitrogen. I quite literally utilize that in this area by the bananas. It'll act as a sort of mulch through the winter, and I do that throughout the season, just adding the grass to the banana, the base of the banana plants, which incidentally are still looking like they're putting on growth, and we are in the middle of autumn. And I reuse this over and over again for different projects around the garden, but I'm going to use it here for the sake of trying to preserve some of the croci. As you can see, the lawn has been cut back quite low to the ground, and what I'm going to do now is simply roll out the wire mesh, chicken wire if you like, along the area, and that hopefully will just be a deterrent for the squirrels. And it also means that with the lawn cut back so short, depending, obviously, it may still carry on growing for a few weeks yet because the temperatures have improved recently. I like to cut the lawn back very short as well, with the view that hopefully over the winter it won't put on much growth, so that by the time the season comes where the crocuses are wanting to emerge from the dormant stage and start to grow, the lawn is short, but the crocuses will be able to be exposed above the height level of the lawn. I hope that makes sense. It just allows the crocuses, if the lawn is cut back short, to be more visible. Okay. So all I'm doing is simply rolling this out. I have a second finer one, a finer mesh at the back there, which I'm going to lay on top. squirrels are very cunning. I'm actually going to pull this further towards the hedge of lavender, because I remember last year they managed to get underneath this at times and in places. And I'll weight it down with some of the rocks I already have back here. Some of the stones I already have. So they cannot easily get underneath. The things we do. Okay, so I'm just going to find another bit to go towards the end, but you can more or less see what I've done there. I have cut the lawn, I have trimmed the hedges, and I have placed down a mesh to prevent the squirrels from digging up all the crocuses. I'm now just going to bundle up some of the lavender and call it a day. So it is turning chilly now. All that remains is for me to put bundles of it in places around the house. Why not? Some free natural air fresheners. So I'll put some in the bedrooms, in the hallway, in the kitchen, in the bathroom. Why not? Why not? More lavender on top of lavender. So what I have here are my scissors, my secateurs, and some biodegradable twine. And all I'm going to do is cut a length of twine, I fold it in half, and I wrap it round and poke it back through. And to dry it, so you can just increase the length of the string, trim back, with the secateurs, trim back the end, and honestly the smell of this is just incredible. And you can just hang that in a cloakroom, in an airing cupboard, and you'll just get the smell of the lavender wafting through the home. It's absolutely beautiful, lovely. I've seen this from the beginning of springtime, enjoyed it in the summer, and now in the autumn I'm still enjoying it, but they're going to be in the home. Thank you so much for watching. Be in the garden, be in nature.